Hey everyone, Connie here with a bit of a discussion, announcement, whatever you want to call it. Um, Couple days ago, back on Tuesday, I put up a video discussing how mentally and emotionally this week or at least on that day, I had not been what I would call okay. I was having a lot of trouble with the entire election thing, and I am still, but to a much, much lesser degree. I definitely calmed down a lot yesterday and things started looking up. Um, but I want to say, I want to explain because I feel like I didn't explain as well in there. So I want to explain real quick. There is a lot of reasons for me to dislike where this country has been in its political state, in its government state for the past 4 years. Being queer is one of the biggest reasons, both, well, all in terms of my being pan, romantic, asexual, and trans. There's also the fact that I am mentally disabled and just, you know, of being a woman as well. And there's a lot of factors that don't apply to me, but apply to people that I care deeply for, whether they're of a different race, a different religion, whether they're immigrants or not. These kind of factors are important in this election. They matter greatly. In fact, in some cases, more so than most other things at the moment. Because other things in regards to how the country is run in terms of its economy, in terms of its national standing amongst other countries and all, like that stuff is one thing, but people's lives and livelihoods are definitely more important, and they always will be. No matter whether the current politicians agree to that or not. It's like that's an unchanging fact. No matter who's in charge, that will always be fact. People's lives are always more important. And when people's lives are put in jeopardy and danger, as much as they have been with this current administration, it's not a case of separating politics from personal life. You can't do that. Trying to separate political and personal in this day and age, at least, is impossible because they're entirely ingrained with each other. They're entirely interwoven. Politics affect our personal lives, and at this point, in almost every way. And it's not something we can just take lightly. It's not something we can just distance ourselves from, especially during this time, during an election for the leader of this country. It's not something we can just ignore. So, when I said in the other video, I was afraid, I was depressed, all that stuff, I meant it. I was really fucking afraid, really fucking depressed, really fucking anxious because I didn't know where things were going to go. Since then, the election results have continued to pour in, and luckily things have gone in the right direction. Not just for my political preferences, but the right direction for the people of this country. The direction that, while not perfect or even what I would call that good, is better and will help the people of this country, especially the disenfranchised, the marginalized, the people who really need, at this point, need a leader who will hear them, who will even acknowledge their existence. And in some cases, a leader who won't actively encourage violence against them. With this year alone, with all the Black Lives Matter riots here, and honestly around the world, and all of the stuff going on with the pandemic and America's absolutely shitty response to it, thanks to our horrible leaders, um, the truth is there. This, because of this year, we can see clearly that this current administration is not good for the people. And there will still be people who somehow argue that because they're so brainwashed that they refuse to see logic, that they refuse to see how this administration is even harmful to them, even if they're privileged, well off white people who are pretty much the only people that this administration cares about. And even then, it's still mostly only the men. And it's like the fact that people can still, after this point, reconcile voting for that side is, it makes no sense. But I'm not going to rant too heavy on that point. The point of the fact of the matter here is that I want to make it very clear that it's not. It wasn't just like this was getting me down or anything. It's because of how serious this election is. That's why back on Tuesday I was in that kind of state. And also why I can't just ignore it, why I can't just like just distance myself from politics for the time being until I get my mental and emotional state back on track. It's not how it works. So, what does this mean going forward? Obviously, we had no reactions or anything this week. Well, you're going to be getting a review today. Uh, you're getting a review. And for today and tomorrow, I'm going to try to record some reactions. It might not be a lot, but I'm going to try. Um, we're going to give it a shot. The election results aren't even finalized yet. Nothing is finalized. It's very much looking like it's going to go in the right direction, but anything can change, and so the nerves are still there. But I am going to try to get up something at least. Again, even if it's just a little. In fact, there's one thing I want to try to get up that's actually a little out of date now, just because it turned into November. But still, I wasn't able to get to it at the end of last week like I originally was going to. But yeah, either way, either way. Um, we're gonna try to get to as much as we can at the end of this week. Next week should hopefully go back to normal. Hopefully. Um, I'll keep you updated on that as well, if anything changes. But for right now, just assume it's going back to normal. But either way, yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say for this video. Just wanted to make things a little more clear about how big of a deal this is, and how it's not just something I can like just distance myself from, and why it affected me so much and all of that jazz. So yeah. Um, so thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for those who have understood and have just like, you know, been cool about it and everything. We'll get back to everything as soon as we can, and like I said, hopefully we should be getting to some stuff today and tomorrow. So thank you all so much. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.